the release of Pitch Perfect 3, the trilogy has come to a close. That means it's time to stop and rank all 3 Pitch Perfect movies from the worst to the best. Now, before I start talking about Rotten Tomato scores and my personal ranking, be sure to tell me yours down below in the comment section and kind of tell me why you put each one where you put it. With that said, let's just start talking about these movies. This series kind of came out of nowhere for me. I didn't go see the first one in the theater, but I kept hearing all this buzz about it. So when it came out on Redbox, I rented it, and my wife literally watched it 3 times in a row that night. And to this day, it's one of these movies that we just put on all the time right before bed. It's so rewatchable because these characters are so much fun. They have such great chemistry together. And there's just something about the mix of this series that's just fun. So with that said, let's start looking at the different ways that people have ranked these ones, and we'll kick it off with Rotten Tomatoes. Coming in 3rd place is Pitch Perfect 3 with 29%. In 2nd place is Pitch Perfect 2 with 65%. And in 1st place is Pitch Perfect, the original one, at 80%. So that's what the critics thought. I also put up a Twitter poll. If you want to participate in future Twitter polls, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I'm pretty active on there, interact back and forth with you guys. And I asked, what is the worst Pitch Perfect movie? And the results were quite similar. The one with the fewest votes was the first film with only 6% of the vote. 2nd place was the second film with 24% of the vote, and with 70% voting it as the worst was the 3rd one. So the Twitter poll agrees with the critics on this one. Also, stick around to the end of this video. I'm going to include some of you guys' reactions to these movies, your different take on them. I did that using the Stardust app. If you want to appear in one of my future videos, learn how you can do that at the very end of this video. With that said, let's see how I rank these movies. Coming in last place is Pitch Perfect 3. Now, I can sympathize with the difficulty of the situation they were in, as the first 2 movies were set in college, and the actresses in this are almost all in their 30s now, so you gotta move the time frame up. They have to move to a different phase of life, and that pretty drastically shifts the dynamic of the type of story that you would tell. But the story that they told with this movie is so bizarre and odd. It just feels like franchise fatigue. It's almost a Hollywood stereotype that as franchises go along, they get wackier and stranger, and you see that with this movie. There's an actual action sequence in it after a kidnapping where Fat Amy is actual martial arts fighting people. And that's the climax of the movie. That's so bizarre given the origins of this franchise, and that's kind of the problem here. You just sit there and wonder, if this is what they said yes to, if this is what they went for, what ideas in the writer's room did they say no to? Which is frustrating because I felt like the chemistry between all the actresses, that was all still there. The humor still worked. I was laughing out loud. My auditorium was laughing a lot more than even I was. Likewise, the music, it still works. It's still got their unique bent to things, and I enjoyed the songs as they went along. But overall, it's felt so forced throughout. They brought the announcer people back with this documentary subplot that just didn't feel like it fit in with the movie. It was just an excuse to bring these actresses back. And that's kind of what the whole movie felt like. Very forced, lazy writing to set up the types of scenarios that they wanted to tell and trying to escalate things and do new things with it that just simply don't make sense. And it was like they lost track of what people liked about this franchise to begin with, and instead they just added spectacle and wacky hijinks and subplots about dads, and the charm kind of got lost while the actresses were still fun to watch. In 2nd place is Pitch Perfect 2. To me, this is kind of a stereotypical example of a good enough Hollywood sequel, in that it's just fun to see all these characters back together doing what we loved from the previous film one more time. In addition to that, we get some new characters with Keegan-Michael Key and Haley Steinfeld, who are some standouts that add some new dynamics to the film and kind of some interesting little twists to that. Actually, if you've ever wondered what I'm kind of like in real life, after people watched Pitch Perfect 2, a bunch of them went, "Sean, Keegan-Michael Key is just like you," which I don't think is necessarily a compliment, but it's a statement about kind of my personality and how I interact with some people.
Kalim,
don't say it again. Go in the corner. Go eat your lunch in the corner.
But what am I gonna do with my sriracha?
Say one more hipster thing, and I'm gonna shove you in your vintage bassoon case, okay?
And the sequel definitely goes for the bigger is better approach, and so it's the world championships, and they're singing for the president, and they're being talked about on the news, and there's more plot lines going on, and there's another love story going on, and for everything happening and all the moving pieces, the results just aren't as strong as they were before. It's good enough, it's still funny, it's still fun to see these characters, the music is still good, but it's not as great and as fun as it was before. So another solid entry in the franchise, but not necessarily a step forward, just more of what we liked before. But coming in first place is Pitch Perfect. Now, this movie was just such a fresh and pleasant surprise when it came out, because I know that I was never asking for a movie about college-based a cappella group competitions, and then one came out, and I thoroughly enjoyed it and watch it way too often. And I think what makes this movie work is that it just has such a unique flavor to its sense of humor, to the way it does music, and even this sense of world building that's going on, then that college campuses don't normally make big stars out of the a cappella groups, don't have big competitions that draw huge crowds. And so they do this weird world building that just works, where there's riff-offs and things like that. And then this world is populated by just all these interesting characters. And in some ways, our lead character, played by Kendrick, is kind of the least interesting character in the movie. Now, she's a solid protagonist that drives us through the story, and we like watching her because it's Kendrick, but everyone else is just so quirky and fun that they almost outshine her throughout the entire trilogy in many ways. And it's a movie where all the different characters in different ways just shine and pop, whether you're talking about, Rebel Wilson's Fat Amy and all of her little quips and quirks and responses to everything. You're talking about Bumper and his obnoxious energy, whether you're talking about Benji and his magic tricks. They're just all so fun to be around. And I think to some extent that's why the third film struggled. We're missing characters like Bumper and Benji, and when they did shoehorn in the announcers, it felt forced. Whereas with this movie, it just felt right that all these characters would come together in this world, and they have so much chemistry. They relate so well together. We love it when they bicker back and forth. We love it when they sing together. We love the competition of it all. It all just works so well, and it's a movie that I don't feel like I should like and shouldn't watch nearly as often as I do, and I shouldn't enjoy it nearly as much as that I do. But this is just a solid piece of entertainment that is incredibly rewatchable, so it is easily the #1 in my ranking of the Pitch Perfect movies. But how about you? How do you rank the movies? Be sure to tell me down below in the comments section, because I'd love to hear your feedback on that. And to that point, I told you I would share some of you guys' takes on these movies, which I got from the Stardust app. Here's what you guys had to say.
The first original Pitch Perfect movie, I still get a big kick out of whenever I watch. It's incredibly funny. All the performances are over the top in a very appropriate way.
I forget how many times I saw it in the theater. I do have the video, and I have the official soundtrack. It's a pretty good movie.
It doesn't recapture the magic of the first one. The first one is a perfect college movie, and the second one...
Just got out of the movie. Super fun. Heightened sense of self-awareness and over the top, of course. I think I liked the second one the best of all.
Guys, I was very fortunate to get to see Pitch Perfect 3 quite a while ago. I can finally tell you to go watch it. And here's why. There's singing, there's jokes, there's the girls back together.
It is more misogynistic and so more sexualizing of women than the other Pitch Perfect films are, and the women are made to look stupid in this film. I hate this movie.
So those are some negative reactions to Pitch Perfect 3. Strong opinions. If you want to appear in one of my future reviews or ranking videos, it's very simple. All you have to do is download the Stardust app. It's at that link down below in the description. It's in the Apple and Android store. Totally free, doesn't cost any money, no ads run or anything like that. Once you download it, follow me in the app. My name's down below. It's SeanChandler. It's pretty straightforward and simple. And then just go ahead and start recording your reviews and reactions to movies you watch. And in the app, all you do is you select the movie you want to review, hit record, you do a 30-second review. It's nice and personal. It's not like all edited. You don't need all the technology. Super simple, hit record, and you just post it. Just like that. Then tag me in the comments with my name so I can actually, it shows up in my feed so I can see your pretty face and your reaction to things. And it's that simple. This week, I'm going to be doing best movies of the year, worst movies of the year. So if you want to appear in those future videos, Put up your reactions in the Stardust app for the best movies and the worst movies of the year. Tag me in there. Give me your thoughts. I would love for you to appear in a future video. And if you're new to my channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button. I do movie reviews, TV reviews, ranking videos. Hey, this is a ranking video right now. And the key thing is I don't want to just talk about movies. I want to talk about movies with you. So join me in the comment section and on Stardust. And thank you so much for watching.